these things before the authorities could seize them and cast their owners into prison.
The late 19th century was a really dynamic time in the history of Egyptology. On the one hand, you had the emergence of modern archaeology, but at the same time, you had the old, long-standing tradition of looting, of even mining sites by antiquities dealers.
Budge rarely excavated antiquities from tombs. He preferred to buy them from dealers. This thriving black market led to an extraordinary collection for the British Museum. But it also helped destroy some of Egypt's archaeological treasures.
And the black market for selling antiques was very bad. Egypt was raped. We call it the rape of the Nile. They raped the Nile. They took this heritage out of the country, and it's now everywhere.
Budge's assistant has led him to a black market antiquities dealer, where he's been given an intriguing artifact that was found in Luxor.
He protecteth the weak against the strong, and he heareth the cry of him that is bound in fetters.
In 1887, Budge is one of the few Westerners who can read hieroglyphics.
It is real, yes? Yes, I'd say it's very real. It's a description of the sun god Ra, its 18th dynasty. I would venture to say that this is from a copy of the Book of the Dead. I call it the Bible of the Egyptians. It's the oldest religious text in the world.
Surely not older than the Bible.
Indeed it is. In fact, this piece seems to be from the so-called negative confessions. This was a list of sins one should not commit. The real source of the Ten Commandments. Mahmoud, yes. Is this the only piece of papyrus?
Oh, no. The man who found it, the man who found the scroll, he cut it into small pieces to sell it to collectors. I have no more.
But this is from the new discovery.
Yes. I'll have someone bring you to the man who found it. He is in Luxor.
The problem with black market antiquities is that people wind up stealing things and taking them out of their context. Whether it was done in the 1800s or today, it is equally bad. By doing this, you completely destroy any understanding one has of the object.
It's a pleasure, as always, Mahmoud. You still prefer British pounds, I take it?
Of course, Mr. Budge. I'll have a guide waiting for you tomorrow morning. It is a 2 days ride.
We'll be ready.
Budge intends to get to the new discoveries, but he is well aware that the new director of antiquities, Eugène Grabeau, is trying to get there first. In 1887, Budge knows that the rumored find of papyrus scrolls is important. But the true historic value of the Book of the Dead is only now being understood. Many believe it is the oldest example of religious writing in the world.
You can see things are written in the Bible, in the Old Testament, and Quran. And therefore, religion today doesn't come suddenly. There is stages. The Book of the Dead is really the first stage of the human thinking about the afterlife.
The Book of the Dead has its earliest antecedents in the oldest religious text we have from ancient Egypt, the pyramid texts. And these were inscribed on pyramids during the 5th dynasty, around 2300 BC.
Later, royal and noble Egyptians are choosing to have those same pyramid inscriptions written inside their coffins. And that set of texts are known as the coffin texts. Then, by the time of the New Kingdom, which was a tremendous research in literary and artistic production, we find mortuary literature that begins to gather all the spells from the coffins and write them into a papyrus roll that can be buried with your mummy.
In 1250 BCE, during the lifetime of the scribe Ani, the spells in the Book of the Dead would already be over 1,000 years old. We know from the historical record that Ani was a temple scribe. Today he might be considered an accountant.
We find out that he is a royal scribe. He is in charge of tallying the accounts of all of the offerings made to the gods.
Temples were both religious institutions, but also major economic ones. And he was in charge of offerings, but also of granaries of the temple.
Ani's position as scribe tells us that he was part of an educated group within the Egyptian elite. Ani must have been deeply concerned about his place in the afterlife.